We are here in IMC 2024, right beside the Vodafone Idea booth, and we will be taking a short tour of the innovations that the company has showcased in this year's India Mobile Congress. Let's go.
Okay. Well, we've got a lot of use cases here, but let me start with this one. This one particularly is very important as far as we are concerned. We look at it as something which can really make a difference to people's lives. So what you see here is enabling healthcare for Bharat. Now, when we say Bharat, what we mean is, of course, the rural folks. The problem statement being that even today, while the government is doing a lot, right, and particularly in the last 10 years, they've done enough for improving the healthcare services for rural folks. But the fact remains that still in a lot of villages, people need to travel a long distance to go access diagnostic centers, right? Because not every village still has a primary healthcare center. Now, the solution that we have here is basically a clinic in a bag. And let me just explain to you what's going on there. There's a live health camp which is happening in a very small village called Pedapadu in Andhra Pradesh. What you see there is somebody who's administering tests using this kit. Now, this kit has about 13 equipments. These can conduct tests, more than 30 different tests, including ECG, 2D echo, including all the cardiac screening, pulmonary tests, ENT, eye screening, a lot more, blood vitals, a lot of tests, right? Now these tests can be delivered through all these equipments. All these equipments are Bluetooth enabled. Immediately the readings of the patients are transmitted to a tablet. From the tablet it goes to a cloud. You need an internet connection, so they are all on V's network. And V's 4G network, by the way. All the data it's actually technology agnostic. So data gets transmitted to the cloud. From the cloud, immediately the data is processed, and pretty much in like about 10 to 15 seconds the reports are delivered. What you see over there is a patient's report. Yeah. So look, and then those are markers: the green, the yellow, the red. Now this is a doctor's view. There are two kinds of reports. There's a doctor's view and there's a patient's view. In the doctor's view, it's more about for doctors to read the report, and patient's view is more simplified, right? Where I can just look at the color, and if it is green, you don't need to go and see a doctor. If it is yellow, you should. The advisory is that you should see a doctor, not immediately, but maybe in 2 weeks, 1 month. If it is red, you must consult a doctor. Now the idea is, what is the solution? Wherever the patients are, all it needs is this kit. You don't need any setup, you don't need any investment. This kit, it can be administered by anybody. You don't need a medical professional, you don't need like medically qualified professionals. Anybody who's done primary basic schooling and with 2 days of training on how to use this kit, they can actually perform all diagnostics.
So you need 2 days of training. You need some kind of training for
2 days of training. That's it. Which means people in villages can actually use it. You imagine like Anganwadi workers, right? If they just need 2 days of training, and after that they can, if they have the kit, they keep going around, right, in the village. They can deliver these tests.
So how much does this cost?
The kit is not for the individual. Kit will be like, for example, right now these are being deployed through some large corporates. There are some CS. And for us also, it's more of a social, responsibility. It's not something that we're going to sell, right? But let's say tomorrow, some government department, government agencies take it. There are NGOs who are picking it up. Right? So the kit is not very expensive, of course, but the fact is, when you take the kit, it's not for individual to buy it. It is basically, again, certain organizations will buy and who will get it deployed over there, right? And after that, there is no variable cost as such to run the tests. If I were to just tell you, let's say for a kit, if you were to do a test using this kit for an individual, where otherwise all these tests in a smaller city also will cost roughly about 2,000, 2,500 bucks. Here, if I were to, whichever ways if I have to look at it, even some consumables which get used, right? The cost is less than 200 bucks. Right? It's dirt cheap. Yeah, it's dirt cheap.
And who's manufacturing the equipment?
This is one of our partners who are we working with, Majumdar, right? And some of the equipments are patented. In fact, Dr. Kapoor, he's not here right now. He was here yesterday. He's the inventor of that. It's called CardioSleep, that stethoscope. So that stethoscope can actually do both 2D echo as well as ECG.
Alright.
Yeah. So again, the idea is, see, imagine if this can take scale, right? This can actually make a material difference to the healthcare levels in
And the way Vodafone Idea is playing a role here is the cloud service.
Both cloud and the connectivity. Yeah, the whole connectivity. And by the way, the moment the reports are available on the cloud, doctors from any part of the world, forget India, can actually log in and access. So you could basically connect doctors from, let's say, certain government hospitals, right? Doctors need not travel to the village. They can actually connect, they can look at the access the report and they can deliver the consultation.
How's the device connected? How is the device
Connected
connected? How?
to a tablet using Bluetooth. Tablet is connected using internet connectivity.
Okay.
It could be 4G, it could be 5G. It works very well on 4G.
Okay.
Yeah. See, both these are actually use cases to show low latency. How on a low latency network, there are things that earlier were not possible. You can do it. So what you see here is a music show going on. So we have one of the bands called Gig Veda who's playing here live.
Okay.
What I basically was explaining was it's like remote music orchestration, right? How people can be in different locations, connect with each other on a low latency network and create content, create symphony, which is what is happening over here because there's no lag, right? And then for that near zero, lag can never be zero. It's just that how much you can minimize it, and it's in like milliseconds, right? So this is like near zero lag. For these guys to be able to in complete sync, irrespective of the location that they are, they just need to be on a low latency network. So that's something what we are showcasing over
And the
here.
tech behind this is your 5G network. Is there a compression algorithm behind it?
No, nothing.
Nothing?
It's simple latency.
Okay.
Look, you can do it. What we are doing right now is there is nothing. I mean, we take the feed, we broadcast it.
Right.
We are not doing any compression. Now, let's say if I were to do it on a, it also depends what the use case is. I am doing a live performance over here. If it was being done for something else, maybe we would have done compression. If I had to deliver it on mobile phones for a lot of people to watch it also online, maybe yes. Yeah. So then you do it. For this, we haven't done. Okay. So this, what you see right now here, is actually they're part of one of the qualifying teams. So we started this esports tournament about 3 weeks before IMC.
Okay.
And there were about 120 odd teams who registered for the tournament. This one, Game to Fame, right? That's our IP that we're creating. So this is the first one which we are doing on Codem, and this is season 1. We'll have season 2, season 3 going forward. Now here, what we did is there were teams who registered. 6 teams won. There were qualifying rounds that happened online, where these 120 teams competed against each other, and that was completely online, right? On Codem, Call of Duty Mobile. The teams who won, 6 teams were shortlisted who made to the top 6. They are now playing here. There are different days, different teams are coming, and there are qualifying rounds going on. One of the teams which wins will go to the grand finale. There'll be a semi-final and the finale. Okay. And they will also do a show game against Codem national champions from Team Vitality.
Okay.
So that team is going to be here and they'll play. Now again, the question could be, why are we doing this?
Yes, exactly.
Again, gaming, is like a large phenomenon and it's only growing. Now, one is you play game on your device. Second is if you look at esports, it was still more console driven. It was more large devices driven, right? People still do on gaming PCs. This is all on mobile. Everything is on mobile. If you see, I could have jolly well put large devices here, right? But this is all happening on mobile. The idea being, how do we democratize this? Because the moment if it is restricted to large devices like console, etc., I mean, not everybody can have those, right? It's out of reach for a lot of people. So we are basically looking at how do we democratize gaming, right? And which is where again latency comes in. All this what you see right now is going on. It's connected on our 5G network.
Your 5G network.
Yeah, absolutely. And they are all connected. Look, they could be sitting here, but there's a game server somewhere. So the game is happening on the server eventually, and they have to be in sync, complete sync to compete against each other, right? This one again is hell. This is basically this is AI powered, by the way. This is AI powered eye test and oral test. And again, if I were to just go back to the problem statement, I'll give you one data point, which I had Health Ministry is one of the reports. Of course, the Lindsay did, but it basically says that in rural, again, a lot of people, I mean, particularly elderly about the age of 65, about 0.1 or 0.2%, I don't remember the exact number, but whatever it is, I mean, even 0.2% is large, they go blind because of untimely detection of cataract. Now, why does that happen? Because again, I couldn't go to get an eye test done because it's not available in my village. I have to travel. It's a loss of time, loss of wage, so people don't go. Now here, this can be delivered on mobile. All you need to do is, in fact, the gentleman is doing over there. You take two images of one of the, you do both the eyes. So you take two images, one of the left eye, one of the right eye. You upload it. It gets uploaded. There's an AI model at the back end which processes the images and it gives you an output. What you see there is sorry, it just disappeared. But there's so this one is dental, that one is cataract. We have to both are AI and gives you an output. It tells you, do you have any likelihood of getting cataract in next 6 months or not? Okay, and it's pretty accurate. Similarly on dental, you get a full oral report, cavities, etc., etc. You get everything in this. Okay. Yeah, and all delivered on mobile.
What is the tech behind this?
Tech here, two things basically. One is you need connectivity. You are using smartphone, normal 4G internet connection on which you can actually upload the images. Yeah, so you need a reasonable upload. This thing, but it's a very light image, so it doesn't really make a difference. Second is of course the whole AI, right?
What's the AI model you here?
The AI model is basically, AI is basically a complete model which processes the images and basically that gives you an output. Looking at the image, right, that it picks up, it processes, and there's a database there. Any AI model, right, it works on the database.
Right.
So the accuracy also, so of course when you start the model, you have to feed in certain data, right? This is when it starts processing, you know that, okay, this kind of image has cataract, this kind of image doesn't have cataract, right? Now there's a certain data which has been built over a period of time, right? And the accuracy keeps going up based on that. Okay. What AI is doing that, if you see, it processes this image, it has to be and you don't need like very high-end cameras, whatever phones we have today in the market, those cameras are good enough. You upload the image, the moment the image goes, the AI is basically breaking this image into like millions of parts and processing it.
Okay, what do we have next?
Okay, this one, and let me take you from the back door actually. What we have here is, let's go inside, let's experience it, and then maybe we come out and talk about it. We'll maybe spend, it's a 4-minute show, but we can just, you can get a glimpse of it for 30 seconds and then we'll come out. Sure. I mean, this is a great example of what technology can enable. Yeah. See, what we've tried to do is, if you look at all the use cases, there are enough and more technologies, very, very sophisticated. We try to bring use cases, we can bring the experience alive for the audience over here. We've actually looked at the audience profile, and based on that, we decide what should we put. We've curated this show, right, in a way, to say, okay, what can bring certain experiences alive.
Right.
And that's what.
Is there a problem statement here? Like, what are you showcasing here?
See, okay, this one, basically, the problem statement being, there are so many destinations today, and not just India, across the world. There are destinations, there are experiences that one aspires to have, right, to get,
right,
but not everybody can get it. Maybe because of paucity of time, it could be money, I can't afford it. It could be health conditions. Look at, for example, Amarnath Yatra, right? I mean, a lot of Indians would want to go for Amarnath Yatra, but the fact is, one, it is open for a very short window in a year. The climate conditions are very harsh.
Right.
It is expensive for one to go. I mean, you need literally about 2 to 3 weeks, if I'm not wrong, to go there. So the point we're trying to make is that, okay, how can we still deliver these experiences? How can we make people experience and live these like as a near real experience? And what we've done here is to bring it alive, that what technology can do. We've actually created a small film of Dwarka, which is the lost city of Dwarka. Now, people have heard about it. We've tried to give them here a near real immersive experience of the lost city of Dwarka. Come, I'll show you. Come. It's actually quite full, but
की इस यात्रा पर आज आप इस पौराणिक शहर के रहस्यमयी रास्तों पर चलने के लिए तैयार हो जाइए। स्वयं भगवान कृष्ण द्वारा निर्मित द्वारका अपने समय में कला, वास्तुकला और आध्यात्मिकता के शिखर के रूप में जानी जाती थी।
Yeah, but would we do a dome? I mean, that's not the idea. We can do domes, etc. But the same thing, now this content we can actually deliver over the internet, over 4G, over 5G, we can deliver it to customers. Now for them to get the same experience, I mean there are simpler ways. You still need either a setup which can give you the virtual experience, virtual reality experience. Now that need not be a dome, of course. I mean, dome, etc. will give you a far better experience, but then there is a VR headset. Now everybody we cannot buy VR headset, but I don't know if you've seen, and we had, unfortunately it's all over, we've given away, but there are these frugal VR headsets, if I may call it. They are cardboard headsets. You just put the smartphone and you play it and you just move around a little bit. Right? I would not say the same experience, but still it's an immersive experience that you get, right? So that's the whole idea, how we can deliver that content in 4K and 6K to the customers, and the customers can actually watch it. That's the whole idea.
Once again, the emphasis is on the 5G network.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And by the way, it will work. I mean, yeah, 5G, yes, but some of this can actually work well on 4G as well.
Okay.
There's no challenge that we see on that, and we've been testing it out on both the technologies.
Okay. Is that it?
You tell me.
Thank you so much. Lovely chatting with you.
No,
Thank you for this lovely tour.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.